Good morning. I'm so excited to be here, and it is so frustrating when you get all these new tools and all this technology ready to go, and Facebook says your link for your video has changed. We need to do just a minute of housekeeping here. For those of you that are on here and found your way here, if you were on my page, you probably could find it, but please let any of your team members, sideline buddies know, anybody that was going to tune in to this morning, let them know that just to go to the Kurt Beaver's Make a Life Facebook page, and they'll see a live broadcast going on. They'll see a live broadcast going on the Make a Life YouTube channel and the Twitch channel, Make a Life with Kurt. But our links did change. Apologize. It's going to get recorded, but it is what it is. You know, I've tried to automate my house, and I've put more of these, smart light switches and things in. And when they work, it's the coolest thing in the world, but it's more things to break down. So sometimes, the tin can, the two cans with the string in the middle that you hear our grandparents talking about they used to play in the yard. Maybe that's better than some of this technology sometimes. It's crazy. But where are you calling from? I do have the comment section working this morning. It's awesome. We've got lots to talk about. March was amazing. We're about to go to Phoenix for our live conference, but tell us where you are. I mean, I know in Georgia, a lot of people are on spring break this week. Anybody like with your kids out of town at the beach and you jumped home for just a minute? I see Jamie Kinsey there. I see Angel and Melanie and Sharon. I see all you guys, and so glad you're here this morning. Okay, we have got some amazing stuff to do. So I don't know in your part of the world, but guess what this week is in Georgia? I mean, the whole state evolves around this. It is Masters Week. You see, I got my shirt on. It's Masters Week in Georgia. Spring break here, and it's beautiful weather today, and like crazy weather in Georgia. It's going to be 86, and then on Friday it's going to be a high of 55. So cray. It's crazy. But we're going to dig in. We're going to focus. We're going to stick with something I've been doing for 35 years, and that's taking each month, grabbing it by the horns, and you managing the month instead of letting the month manage you. How many of you have friends that, maybe it's an old phrase, but every month that they have more month left after their money runs out? That's something going on across our country. Inflation has made that so much more real than it ever has been in the past. And we can help people. It's a fun place to be when you can help people with that. So we're going to grab our month by the horns. We're going to manage our month. We're not going to stop that. We're going to start it well. We're going to finish strong. And what's our word? We're going to let urgency destroy procrastination. Everybody I think naturally procrastinates, but what I discovered when I got in this business was that urgency destroys procrastination, and we're going to hold on to that. We're going to do that, but we're going to add a new skill to our repertoire this month. We're not just going to have urgency. It's probably the thing that I learned more than any other thing after I learned how to manage my month and manage my time and manage myself. Those things had to come first. If you're an entrepreneur, the hardest thing you have to do is manage yourself. Yes, successful people across the board, I think you can identify them because they manage their time well. My trainer this morning got up and he said, I just admire. He said, you get up and you have energy in the morning. And he said, I was thinking about you when I was driving my golf cart over to the gym this morning. And he said, I can think of about 10 people that I know that are wired that way, that they get up and they do the important things and get them done first. And then they can play and do other things. And so that was I appreciated that compliment this morning, because I do wake up with energy and drive to go seize the day, but I have to focus and get the important things done. So the managing your time, managing yourself as an entrepreneur was one of the first things I learned. And that's what we've really been working on for 3 months, is that skill of managing your time. And really, it's managing yourself. Nobody's telling you to get up, get dressed, be in an office or a cubicle at any certain time. Although in our world right now, the RTO, return to office, the BTW, they're back to work or back to office, is rampant. I mean, people that have never had to work in the office, or at least for the last 3 years, COVID's made them not have to work in the office. They are now being told, mandated to go back to the office, and there's major resistance. And so that's really about to create one of our most fertile recruiting grounds of amazing people that value family time, that value flexibility over just the raw paycheck. That's a part of it, but there's a life they want to create. So we get to work with them, and that's going to be exciting. And I'm going to show you how to do that over the next few months. So how many of you, the first skill that I learned in this business, other than the time management thing, the first tool that I began to use, let's say the first tool that I began to use was a memory jogger. How many of you right now, just a thumbs up, or how many of you made a memory jogger when you first got started in the business? One thumbs up. How many of you have a current memory jogger that has got new names, active names, and you keep that thing up to date? Let's do 2 or 3 thumbs up. So if you've done it one time, one thumb. If you've done it a bunch of times, and you know that it's a living, acting, breathing document. It's dynamic. It's not static, and you keep it up to date. Let's put 2 or 3 thumbs in there. Or if you're really excited about it, put 10, whatever. I just want to see how many of you all have one versus keep one current. Because I had never done that before when I got in this business. Never made a memory jogger, never done anything like that. So I learned how to do that. It was definitely just a piece of paper and a pen, and you stuck it in a 3-ring notebook back in the ancient days of the dinosaurs when I started doing this business. But one other skill that I learned too, and it had nothing to do with this business. There was a gentleman by the name of Mike Breen, and he was a pastor who had moved away from the local church, and he was teaching churches how to grow. It's not that different from a business, really. I mean, there's a head pastor there leading a group of people. Actually, I think a church is more like our business than traditional corporate America, because in corporate America, you can hire them, fire them. There's linear authority. You tell them what to do. In our business, it's almost like that volunteer army that a pastor manages at a church. You have to motivate them and encourage them and get them to want to do it. And actually, you're above them in the pay structure because they're your downline. But we've already talked about it. Those people above you, they're your 5 employees that are paid to help you. And you need to pull them in to be a resource for you. Okay? So I learned that skill. I learned that tool, the memory jogger, and began to utilize that. But the second thing was Mike Breen taught me about stewardship, really, in one sense. But I'm going to get there. Don't let me throw you off track. How many of you would say that whether you do a good job of it or not, and this is a stewardship question, whether you do a good job or not, you know you have to take care of your money. You got to save, spend less than you make. You got to pay your taxes. We're called to give to those that are less fortunate than us. We all know that. That's something that's taught. There are commercials. There are people that get college degrees that all they want to do is manage your money. I mean, that's just, there's a whole world out there. They want you to put your money into a 401k for 35 years until you get old, and then you can buy a boat with your retirement and have a great life. But we're all here because we want to make a life now. We don't want to do things now to have a life when we're 65. To me, that's dumb, stupid, if you ask me. Anyway, so don't waste away today socking aside money. Go build a business that funds the life you want to make, and it'll take care of today and you take care of your retirement. So that's one thing. We got to be stewards over our money. The second thing is we have to be stewards over our time. I don't know about you guys, but I have tried every method, from calendars to time systems to apps to digital resources, because we all think that there's a tool, just like the golfers that are out there. If you're like me, I mean, if you think if you get a new golf club, you're going to play golf better. But it usually comes back to it's the operator, not the club. Same thing with the calendar. It's the one who is using that paper calendar or using that digital resource or using that app on their phone. It's not the app. It's not the legal pad or the time system you bought. Or if you're using our journal, this journal is not going to work unless you use it. Okay? So we know we have to manage our time. We're all in search of our 25th hour in the day. We got to do that. But here's the big thing that I think most of you have never done. If you're in this business brand new, I know I hadn't. So we talked about the tool that I learned was that memory jogger. But why was that so important? Because there was another thing in my life that I needed to be a steward over. I needed to be a steward over my relational capital. I had financial capital. I had time capital. but add relational capital. And most people don't understand that God brings people into your life, and you have this account balance of relationships in your life that if you invest in those relationships and share what's important with you with those relationships, sparks go off, fireworks go off, and so much more happens than what you can do just alone. And in our business, the Lone Ranger is one who's out just getting customers. And that's great. They're sharing our product with the people that they know, and they're building a small part-time income. But you know what? Those that are wise and got in this business, they're going to invest their relational capital, and they're going to not just share the product, but they're going to share our mission. And they're going to build a business that's way beyond what they could do on their own. They're going to build a huge business. And I even think that one of my most important qualities when I'm working with new people in this business, because I do think when I sponsor somebody in this business, a new partner in this business, it's the same root word that's in the word responsibility. So when I sponsor someone, I think there's a responsibility that I have to make sure that person succeeds. And the best way I can help them is for them to let me become their people investment advisor. I want them to trust me enough to bring their relational capital to the table so that I can help them invest that and build a business beyond what they could ever do on their own. I mean, ever. Okay. So I've got all these great slides to share with you. Let's move into some of these slides. So this is our talk today. It's organizing your relational capital. It's about getting to a place where that becomes super important to you. You understand it, you realize it, and now you're going to invest it wisely because, gosh, there's so much good stuff here, so many good nuggets. One of the things you need to think about is in this business, if you go out and the only skill you ever learn is to share our amazing product with families to build healthy families around the world, that's awesome. But if that's all you do, that may be all you end up with is a customer base. But let me tell you something. If you will decide, like in our compensation plan, which I'm not going to train on today, but it's unlike anything else in the world today. The things we have, how our performance bonus work, that it's 5 generations, but could be 50 people deep in your organization. How our compensation plan works for our leaders, where we've created a hybrid where we have benefits and expense allowance called BIB, business investment bonus, and all those things. But in order to get to that level where there's benefits and our top level national marketing director, you need to have 5 key leaders on your team. So we just talked about if all you did was go out and find healthy families, you'd build an amazing part-time income from our amazing product. But what if you shifted your mindset and you decided you were going to go find those 5 key leaders, and that was what your mission was being in this business? You didn't stop looking for those 5 key leaders to build this business with you until you found them. You know what? You'd still build a customer base, because you can't explain our business without sharing our product. And everybody's not going to say yes to the business. So you'll still build your customer base, but you'll also find your 5 key people and become a national marketing director. So if you only focus on customers, you may never build a team. But if you focus on building a team, you'll automatically get customers. So leave this call today. Leave this start of the month, because we're not leaving this start well mindset. This is about starting the month off right, getting your coaching done, finding the micro people on your team that have micro goals that make up your bigger goal, getting on the phone with them, lining up the events to make sure that happens. We're gonna, we've got an amazing conference this month, which is going to bring energy into our business and some amazing new skills and new leadership and motivation. But you know what? It also takes a month. Also takes a week out of the month we can work. So you need to plan around that. Okay. So how many of you are going to Phoenix? Can't wait. But is there a cactus emoji? If there's a cactus emoji or something, stick it in there and let me know you're going to Phoenix, or just put PHX or something. Let's see who's going to Phoenix. So we got to do that. We've got to make sure that we focus on those 5. Okay. So how do we do that? That's what we're talking about when we're talking about organizing your relational capital. So does anybody on there? Is anybody as old as I am, like dinosaur age? Because I get called a dinosaur. I take my hat off. My white hair. My daughter calls me Q-tip. But anyway, I'm claiming it's wisdom. The Bible says that gray hair is a crown of splendor and it's wisdom. So I'm claiming wisdom. Even if even if you call me Q-tip, I'm claiming it's wisdom. So as we work on this, how many of you remember where I was going is, how many of you remember AOL? You've got mail, like way back in the day, like round one, 1.0 version of the internet, and we've upgraded. Maybe we're in 3.0 now. Well, when I got started, we had 1.0 version of the memory jogger. Okay, I mean, there are people that I've seen them. I'm not going to name them. There are people on this call that have been in, that took over 10 years to make national marketing director, that I still have a copy of their memory jogger that was just names written on a legal pad. And they have people in their downline that are superstar NMDs that sent me their memory jogger with the Google Sheets app from their iPhone. Okay? And everywhere in between. Index cards, post-it notes. You got to have a list, okay? What I want to do is I want to bring this tool alive to you, because this month we're going to do a special training on the memory jogger, but I'm also going to give you a template that you can use and download over and over and over and over again. I'm going to gift you with what I think is a great version of, I'm going to call it Memory Jogger 2.0. There'll be a landing page on our website, makealife.com/memory jogger. It'll launch April 11th, right after our memory jogger training, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But it's the reason I believe we need to use a Google Sheet, and I'm not telling you you have to do it this way, but I want to teach you another principle that's so important. So, do you want to do this by yourself? Or do you want to build this business with your support team that the company pays to help you, that have experienced leadership and can validate what you're doing to all these amazing people you're trying to recruit while you're building your story? The answer is yes, that's what you want to do. You don't want to do it by yourself. You want those people. You want accountability. I do. You're saying you want to go build this business. Are you willing to make yourself accountable to that support team? Well, your memory jogger is your number one tool. And I know we went through this phase, and pardon my French, it was a phase. It was not a shift. We went through this phase where everybody said, well, you know, this new younger generation, they don't do memory joggers. They just do Facebook friends list and contacts on their phone and all this kind of stuff. Well, those people, I have seen them play that game, and they've come around and said, once I got focused and had a memory jogger and a list of people, I knew what my relational capital was, and I went out to invest that in this business. It was a game changer. When I played around with no accountability, just working from a social media friends list or a list in my iPhone, and I didn't have something vivid in front of me that I could work from and had some accountability, it didn't work. So I'm going to tell you what works. 35 years of doing this business, I'm going to tell you this works. I'm not saying it's the only thing that works, but if you have a memory jogger and you share that memory jogger with your upline, I'm going to tell you how real this was to me. When I got started in this business, the starter kit, you know, we didn't have digital resources like we do today, so we got a physical starter kit in a box. And yes, it's more difficult to do our business today because I only had to pay $40 35 years ago. Y'all have to pay $52 now. It's, you know, it's like big time increase in cost. But I paid $40 35 years ago, and I was going to get this box, this kit. But my sponsor was smart enough, and they were teaching at the time, that she didn't give me my kit until I gave her a copy of my memory jogger. How about that? I didn't get my starter kit where I was going to go out and run my mouth, mess up, not know what I was saying, not have any help, not doing three-way phone calls. I was going to go out and try and do it all by myself if she'd given me this kit. But I didn't have the brochures and things to talk about because she wanted to sit down and go over my memory jogger with me and for us to have a plan, a strategic plan, instead of just slinging mud and ruining the opportunity with a lot of people. Okay? So that's what I want you to do today, but I don't want you to have to, fax a copy of your memory jogger to somebody because they probably don't have a fax machine. I don't want you to put it in snail mail because it's slower than molasses. I want you to use a collaboration tool that everybody has. Almost everybody you know, 10 years ago, no, but today they either have a Gmail account or they've watched something on YouTube, which means they have a Google account and they have free access to Google Sheets. So we're going to design for you a template that's going to let you put your memory jogger, next steps, phone, email, how you know them, everything on a Google Sheet. You'll get a template you can send to your new person. They fill it out. They share it with you. And then you do a 3-way phone call or a Zoom call or whatever you want to do, and you go over that sheet together, and every name on that list has a next step and a plan of action so that you can hold them accountable to getting their customers. They can highlight in yellow or make a highlight of the people they want to be like. They want to go, that's somebody they want to be one of their 5 key people, and you want your upline to get on a 3-way phone call immediately and talk business first with them. There's a strategy and a plan here that works. So we're going to do that. That form is not ready or available yet, but when you attend the memory jogger training on the 11th, if you can't do it live, that's fine. We'll record it. But here's the details about that. We're going to do that on Facebook again. And the comment section will be open. It'll be on YouTube also. And as soon as that call's over, we're going to teach you how to access it and use it. That Google memory jogger template will be live online that evening. So we'll do our training at 8, and when we're done before 9, that new version of the memory jogger will be live. If you go to that page that we were just looking at, where did it go? Right there. If you go to makealife.com/memory jogger and just keep checking, as soon as it goes live, the link to it will be on that page right there, okay? Okay. All right. So let's talk about our coaching kind of for the quarter. Now, I want to say one thing. For those of you that are on here for the first time, how many of you this first time that you haven't ever heard me before, and this you're going to decide if this might be the last time before the call's over. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But if this is your first time joining us one of our coaching calls, I don't want you to lose the number one most important thing and reason we're doing these is to create a rhythm in your business of starting each month intentionally, bringing in your support team, setting goals, and then you playing the support role for those on your team and helping them set goals. Their little goals become a part of your bigger goal. And the second thing we do is at the end of the month, we'll do this is the Start Well call, kick off the month. Finish Strong call is that 3rd or 4th Wednesday in the month, however the month falls. Sometimes there's 5 weeks, but it's on this calendar here. You can see this month, the Finish Strong call is the 23rd. And we've got different names a little bit because these are the topics we're going to cover about relational capital in your memory jogger each month. And there's another call there on the 13th. I know you're wondering what that is. I'll explain that in a minute. But the main thing, you do need a memory jogger. It's a tool that if you add it to your business and you use it and you let somebody hold you accountable, there's almost no way you can fail. But you have to decide that you're going to do it. Now, this is going to intimidate you, but I was told to make a list of 300 names when I was 23 years old and I started this business. Didn't feel like I knew that many people. But we got resourceful. We got out wedding lists, neighborhood directories, church directories, yearbooks, family, wedding lists, all those things. And we got to 150 and we were stuck. And because we were so naive, we thought you had to have 300 or we weren't going to get our starter kit or you were going to fail. But you know what they did? They told us to get out the yellow pages. I'm like, what the heck? I am not doing the New York stockbroker dollar for dollars out of the yellow pages. I'm not playing that game. I'm not calling these people. They said, no, you don't understand. You know so many more people than you think you know. You just need a tool to help you surface those names. And so they said, start with, astronauts, start with A's. And who do you know that's an astronaut, an accountant, or a, I don't know, Ace Hardware owner or whatever. Who do you know that's a barber, builder? Who do you know that's a chiropractor or a, cosmetic person? Who do you know that's a doctor? Who do you know that, builds garage doors? Who do you know that's an exterminator, a farmer? And so you go through the categories, and believe it or not, we thought of 150 names so much easier than we ever thought. Now, you don't have to get the yellow pages out. I haven't actually seen the physical yellow pages in decades, but we have a list that we'll make available to you that has the categories that are in the yellow pages just to help you think, who do you know that's your dry cleaner? I mean, I'll give you an example. I had a lawn business. I cut yards when I was in high school, and once I started going through there, I got the hardware store, and I remembered and got a customer of the guy who sold me a green Lawn Boy lawnmower when I was a teenager at Ace Hardware. That name had totally left my train of thought. But that yellow pages, categories of people, all it came back. So we're going to challenge you to make a list of 300 names. Now, it's not 300 or fail. Let's at least everybody get 100, okay? We're going to work on that. So, but this is the calendar for the quarter. There's a start well, finish strong call for each month, and we'll fill in some more. But if you want to make sure you're on all these calls, I'm trying to make it easy so I don't have to, put reminders everywhere. We'll try and do that too. But if you go to makealife.com/coaching calendar, and Hope can put that link right in the comments now so you can just click on it. But if you go to that, and there's a blue button there, and if you click on that, it will just add these events to your calendar. I mean, that doesn't mean you have to go, but at least you're going to get a reminder and know that it's happening. The link to the event, everything will be right there, okay? So you may want to add that to your calendar. So there's one other event there. You see the one that says 1-to-1 with Kurt. Let me tell you what that is, and I'm super excited about this. Let me go here first. I'll go do this first. So we're going to do a 1-to-1, which is me on a whiteboard explaining our business and why it's the right thing for an entrepreneur right now at the right time. I mean, I'm going to sit down, just what I do. I mean, it's where I'm at my strongest, is sitting down, talking about the different ways, the 5 different ways we make money, what are the different options for getting started, and paint a small picture if they want to make $500 to $1,000 a month, or a big picture if they want generational life-changing income, okay? Here's the deal. What is the one thing we've said we have to do at the end of the month? Urgency destroys procrastination. So I'm going to put that into practice for you guys, okay? Tomorrow, April the 6th, registration opens. This is for the first 25 people that sign up with a prospect. And when you sign up, you have to know your prospect's name and email address, because that's the only way they're going to get into this group. Once there's 25 names are finished, you and your prospect are going to get an email from the Zoom webinar registration with your personal private link to join me on that iPad session on April the 13th. First 25. Starts tomorrow. You need to come to the table with someone, ideally, that is familiar with the product. Maybe they're a customer, but they know enough that they want to find out how our business works and if it's for them. That's the ideal candidate to be on this call. Somebody that you're talking to from your memory jogger, or maybe if you don't have a memory jogger, it just randomly happened, but somebody you're talking to that knows enough that they're interested to find out if this business is right for them and how it works, okay? We're going to do that. Now, here's one more slide for you here. You and your 25 guests, so 25 people with a guest each, are going to be able to sit and watch me explain a small business opportunity if they want to make $500 to $1,000 a month, or a generational changing income for their families as a national marketing director, PMD and above, with all the benefits our business puts together, okay? That's going to happen right here on this whiteboard, and the first 25 get in, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I'm really excited. So I believe that we're not telling the story well enough about our business, because you know what we're really good at? We've got so much research. We're all really good at explaining how Juice Plus bridges the nutritional gap between what we actually eat and what we should eat. And we tell that story magnificently. And that message gets multiplied and shared, and families' lives are changed. But you know what? How many families do you know? We already said it earlier that the money runs out before the month runs out. Right now with inflation, it's rampant. $500 or $1,000 a month changes lives, okay? So I'm going to do something that I haven't done before, but I think it's super important that we be able to draw this on a napkin or a piece of paper. And it's not so important that you can draw it on a napkin or a piece of paper, but when we're able to do that, that forces us to make it simple enough that someone just gets it right away. And if they decide this is what they want to do, just like when I got started, 3 days after I got in the business, I was drawing like the person on the whiteboard, on napkins, on legal pads, because I got it. I don't know how many of you all have ever heard of Campus Crusade for Christ. It's a ministry. And the reason I'm telling you about that is they designed a little a brochure called the 4 Spiritual Laws. And I'm telling you this, this is not a religion lecture. I'm just telling you this because it's so vivid in my mind that there was an illustration there of this gap that was created. There was man who was, sinned and wasn't perfect, and God was perfect. and sinful man wanted to be with a perfect God, so this cross fell across the gap, bridged the gap, and you could see how God's grace and gospel message was told with that brochure. So what I want to do is I want to take the financial gap, the family income gap, the ability to fund the life you want to make with the way you make an income. I want to talk about the people that are stuck making a living. And okay, I just got a message that I lost sound again. Can y'all not hear me? It looks like the mic's working. Can somebody say we're okay on sound? Yes, no? Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. I don't know what happened. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the iPad slide off just for a second and go back to here. I want to take that concept and draw for you an illustration of how our company bridges the gap between somebody that's just making a living and somebody that wants to make a life. They want to create an income stream that funds the life they want to make. And it may be gradual. Because here's the way I think, okay? So I want everybody to have the opportunity to stop trading hours for dollars. I think we all really want that too once we understand it. So we're going to explain that. But here's really, to me, I love country music. Anybody like country music? So, driving down there, country music's great. It's got some crazy themes to it, but it's good. And one of the songs that I love that I love to use in our business is that song, "Take This Job and Shove It, I Ain't Working Here No More." There's a lot of people right now when they're getting that back to work, return to office, they're saying, you know what? If you're gonna make me do that, then you can take this job and shove it. But most people can't financially do that. So what I love to do, I said, I don't care if you love what you do, keep doing it. But what I want to do is I want to help you build a business that you could wake up one morning and you could say, take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more because something happened that you didn't agree with, that you weren't willing to do, that they were trying to make you do or mandate, and you had built you a business that gave you the freedom to say that if you wanted to. That's such a cool thing for people to have that freedom. And that also allows you to fund the life you want to make. So we're going to dive into that, and we're going to bridge the gap between the traditions of the world. You go get a degree and then you get a cubicle, a computer, and a commute, which is what's remanifesting itself with this return to office, back to work. And we're gonna dive into that. And I'll make sure the mic and all those problems are not with us on the next go round for that. So here's how it's going to work. So the link, the first 25, and remember this, I don't have no way to edit this. If you go in there, you can't call me and say, hey, my prospect's email address changed, or you were just trying to put John Doe's name in to get your spot. Whatever you put in there, that's what it is. We're not going to be able to go back, delete that person, and change your prospect, okay? And we'll do this again, I promise. And, the first one may not be the best because, you always get better. But you go to this makealife.com/413. That's 413, for April 13th. And that's going live tomorrow morning at 10:30, same time as right now. And you'll go to a form, you'll put your name, email address, and you'll put your guest prospect's name and email address. Make sure they can attend, get their name. Don't go in there and fake a spot, but if you don't have somebody. Make sure, let's use this wisely. And I want you to bring somebody that knows enough about this business that they're trying to decide if this business is for them or not. Whether it's $500 to $1,000 a month or life-changing generational income, whatever they're looking for, I want you to bring that kind of person to the table, okay? Don't just go take a spot and add one of your partners you're down. This is not for you and a downline member. This is for you and somebody who is not yet in our business, okay? For you and somebody not yet in our business. That's the link to go to tomorrow to sign up at 10:30 in the morning. And Hope and Trey will put a post on the Facebook page with details about that before 10:30 in the morning, so you'll have a reminder with a link to click. And Hope, you can put that link in the comments if you want to, so they can copy it. All right, so couple things I want you to know that if you don't know, you should, but you should have gotten emails about it, and you should see it on the Hub or on your Boards app. This month, as of yesterday, Soy Free Complete is available. you have people in your life that don't necessarily need to or want soy for some reason. I mean, soy is a great protein. There's dirty, nasty soy out there, but ours is the best water wash soy. So our complete is amazing, but there's just a mindset of some that don't want soy. So we have our complete vanilla and chocolate now for partners only. It'll be available to the public soon, but you can get that now in chocolate and vanilla for yourself. Okay, so just know that that's available. You can order it now. All right. Next, I want you to know that there's an amazing promo that's going to help us this month. We're trying to find those 5 amazing people that are going to help be leaders in our business. And every new partner you sign up, and nobody's going to sign up and not buy the product because they'd be a hypocrite, and that's like silly, stupid. So every new partner you sign up, if they just order our minimum essential product, Juice Plus Fruits and Veggie Capsules, which is a $200 order value. So it's got to be a $200 order or above. And fruit and veggie for one adult meets that category. You don't have to spend $200. It can still be on installments, but $200 in value. You're going to get $144 of complete samples. Vanilla complete, chocolate complete, and Juice Plus Perform. They're going to get that for free just for signing up. It's awesome. So we're going to make our memory jogger. Look at what, once this memory jogger is done, look at the opportunity. Everybody that signs up is going to get $144 in free complete. So you get them on the capsules. They're bridging the nutrition gap. They get to try complete to replace empty calories with healthy calories. And complete's amazing. All you're doing is redirecting grocery money. You're getting healthy meals instead of unhealthy meals. So Juice Plus Complete really does. Juice Plus Complete in the Tower Garden costs you nothing. The Tower Garden saves you money on groceries, growing your own food, and Complete can replace an unhealthy meal, breakfast, snack, whatever. You're just changing grocery money. Those are no-brainer sales, and they're going to get samples of all that, so you've got easy follow-up for the month of April, okay? It's going to be amazing. All right, I'm going to wrap it up with this. And one more thing. Here's some FAQs for the one-to-one. When did tickets go live? I told you that. April 6th, tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern at makealife.com/413. Do I need my prospect's email when I register? Yes. Yeah, you're going to have your prospect's name and email required to register. And this person, like I said, should be warm and ready to hear about why Juice Plus is the right product, right business for them. Okay? And let's don't just go in there and grab one of the 25 spots if you don't have somebody. Be considerate and make sure you've got a legitimate person, and we'll do some more. Okay? How are you and your prospect going to get the Zoom invitation? So here's what's going to happen. They're going to register on a form. It's actually an Eventbrite form. No cost. And then those 25 partners and their prospects will be entered into the Zoom registration webinar, and they will get a personal link from Zoom directly to their email. You'll get one, and your guest will get one. And then, prior to the event that day or afternoon sometime, you'll get a reminder email from me. Just don't forget one-to-one tonight, and that's going to happen. And there's not going to be a wait list. First 25, and we will do it again. But I want to show you, I've done it for years with events and other things. I want to show you urgency destroys procrastination. Maybe many of you that have not recruited somebody in a long time, well, you know what? If you want me to help you do that, you just got a message of urgency, because you better go find somebody before 10:30 in the morning. Okay? It's going to be awesome. Reminder at the bottom, that coaching calendar will have all the events on it. And if we add new ones we'll do another one-to-one. We'll do some more trainings like the Memory Jogger training on the 11th. Those will automatically be added to that calendar. So if you go there and sign up, when we add a new event, you'll automatically be notified. You don't have to do anything. It's going to automatically go on your calendar. It's going to be amazing. All right, I'm excited. I'll be in Phoenix in, 2 weeks. I'm excited about the Masters this week. It's fun. I hope you get to watch it on TV. It's beautiful. And if you've never been live, you need to go once in your lifetime live. The azaleas are that beautiful. The grass is like perfect. It looks like carpet, and the food's cheap. So if you can go to the Masters sometime, come. We're about 45 minutes away. We love to tell you hey, and we're not going this year. We got a big Masters party at home at our house this weekend with all the kids right before Easter. But have an amazing day, amazing week. April's going to be an amazing month. Get your rear end in gear. I know we had qualifiers day Monday, but it's really time to get your goals identified, get the micro goals of your team members identified, which helps your big macro goal happen. And I saw that unfold with so many this month. But if you'll work this memory jogger, there's no way you can fail. There's safety in numbers, and this memory jogger is going to let you know who to contact every day, what to send them, what to do, and you'll have your support team doing it with you and providing accountability. It's going to be a great month. It's going to be a great tool for you to learn. I'm excited, and thanks for joining us this morning. See you later.